wanted to start with you. When you're working on a comedic animated series, it's all about your vocal performance and delivery. There's also a lot of unexpected physicality when you're working in voice acting. Were there any new techniques that you developed to convey emotions in this series? And how did your prior experiences in animation lend themselves to Exploding Kittens?
Well, I hadn't done an awful lot of animation, like really not much at all before this. So to to play an ongoing character in something was a new experience for me. Um, it is a very different experience to live action. You find yourself locked in a tiny little booth with a set of headphones on and pulling ridiculous faces and making ridiculous noises and just going for it basically. And I think that's the biggest difference is that you're really encouraged to kind of like go big because that's how, that works in this medium. And that was incredibly liberating.
It's just here. I think what the series does so brilliantly is that it sits in this space where it's family friendly enough for kids, but also so appealing for adults. And comedy is really a genre that encourages improvisation. How much of what we see is scripted versus improvised? How's your own background as a comedy writer helped you in knowing how far you can push these lines and interpret the script?
Oh, well, thankfully, the show was written by some really, really funny people. So the jokes were already there. And when you're in the booth, there's other writers who are on the Zoom or in the room as well. So they're able to like throw different lines at you just to test and see what fits. And I guess my improv background is helpful because I'm able to adjust, even though like this might be the written line. I'm able to like figure out how do I deliver this other line in the same kind of world or in the same kind of scene. And it's really fun. Yeah, this is a very funny show, but it also does have a lot of heart, and it's like cool to see that.
Yeah, one of the best shows I've seen this year. This is a question for the two of you, but I think one of the benefits of animation as a medium is its accessibility. And there's such a great banter and dynamic between your two characters. Did you all record this together? How did the performance of your co-star influence your own? How did you build that chemistry?
Again, the new thing for me that I found out when you do this sort of thing is you do it on your own, so you don't interact with the people with the other actors in the scene. Um, we would have a read through of each episode beforehand on a Zoom call, so you got the sense of like how these scenes would play out. But then when you go in and record it yourself, it's just you. So there's a lot of trust in this process. And you do different line readings of the same line. So you've got lots of different options for when they finally put it all together. Um, so it's a strange experience of doing something, not knowing at all how it's going to turn out, and then watching it and watching the scene sort of come together. But it's very satisfying when it works, and it was really pleasing to watch this because I was like, I hope it's as funny as I think it's going to be, and it was funnier. So that's always good.
Yeah, I mean, there's also a talented voice director, Tom Kenny, and then also the creators, Shane and Matt, are watching this whole process. So they're good about hearing what Tom might do and helping me figure out how to like uh complement that in the scene. And so there's other people looking at the bigger picture, even though we're in a booth all by ourselves, but they know, okay, this is gonna fit because we've already done the work with this other person.
It's such a laugh out loud series. For the final question for the two of you, is there a favorite one-liner that you have from one of the episodes?
Hmm.
I quite like the line about icing about turning cupcakes
Oh, the
into
muffin kiss. Yeah. Yeah,
that's
it's
not a
pretty good.
miracle, that's icing.
Yeah.
I like that line.
Um, there's a scene where we are God Cat and Devil Cat are about to fight each other, and I collect a bunch of meat products to create some sort of like transformer type battle gear. And the catch line that comes out is "Meet your maker," and I love a pun.